guys, and welcome back to Racing. In this video we're gonna do the final touches on the bike and put in the new engine and see how this baby runs. So if you want to see that, stay till the end and let's get into it.
Yeah, so here I am putting some aluminum paste on the new titanium rod or bolts, which goes and holds the engine up. If you don't use aluminum paste, the bolts could seize when they're in there, and then you can't get them out. So we don't want that to happen, so we put some aluminum paste on there just to be sure.
Spending the night in Dixon, 60-odd miles from a plan. Is it too late to learn to listen? Too late to be less a man. How many yesterdays are between us now?
Here I am connecting the ignition coil to the engine. We have an ignition coil with a rev limiter of 13,500, I think.
How many yesterdays are...
And here you can see me putting on the tube for the oil catcher. So if you put too much oil in the engine, it's gonna spit out some oil at the top and it will end up in the oil catcher.
are between us now?
Now I am connecting the fuel lines. Here you can see me fixing up the clutch. I like to be very thorough with everything that has to do with the clutch, because I'm very petty when it comes to clutch. I like to have it as smooth as possible. And the clutch arm, you see me cleaning right here. I go through once with WD-40 PTFD, then I clean it with paper, then I rinse it once more just to make sure no dirt is in there and it's as slight as smooth as possible.
Between us now.
Now I am connecting the clutch cable to the clutch arm. We have a little guard there to stop if you ride really close to someone. They're not gonna hit your clutch arm and break it off or something. Here I am installing the new titanium distances for the clutch. Put a little bit of grease there so the slide as easy as possible. And you also see me put some acetone on the clutch casing, or whatever that part is called that holds the clutch plates. If you don't clean the surface with acetone or brake cleaner, there might be some left out residue from fingerprints or oil. We don't want that because the clutch is what gets you going as fast as possible from the gate. Here I'm cleaning the push rod for the clutch arm, which goes through the entire counter shaft. And so when you press in the clutch handle, the clutch arm presses against the push rods and it releases the clutch.
Carried it all.
Yeah, again you can see me cleaning my hands with brake cleaner just to make sure I don't have any fat or oil on my fingers, because the clutch plate, for me at least, is a very sensitive part of the bike, and I don't want a single bit of fat or residue left on them. So I make sure I have clean hands when touching the clutch plates, and I wipe them off with some acetone.
Carried it all.
I'm also very thoroughly cleaning the springs for the clutch.
Calling my sad.
Here I am removing the old clutch arm, which I've used for two and a half seasons for now.
We go a line at a time, or a sad.
And here I am installing the new clutch arm, which have bearings inside of it, so it glides very light compared to the one I was using before, and I can definitely feel the difference.
Swan song.
I put a little bit of grease on the clutch cable just to make sure there's no squeaking or friction between that and the clutch arm.
Offering up.
Here you see me put on some silicone on the exhaust of the motor just to make sure that no air or exhaust fumes gets lost in between that connection, because that actually means you're losing horsepower, and we want all the power we can have.
Rose. And I'd find you if I could.
This is actually the wrong exhaust. For the baby motor, you have a different type of front exhaust because it has a slightly different bend on it, and this one I'm installing right now is actually the wrong one. And yeah, I didn't realize that till the end, because the gap between the exhaust and the engine was too big, and we want that as close to the engine as possible, so when you're standing in a rut in the start, it doesn't touch the ground at all, because that is losing your speed.
Invite you to the final act. But I think
And we also have a heat shield at the front of the exhaust, because I don't want to burn my Kevlar, because when I do start, I like to brace myself against the engine so I don't fall backwards and far up and move back on the saddle, because that means I will get more lift in front wheel, and I really don't want that.
it's understood. Nothing good can come of that. How many yesterdays are between us now? How many yesterdays are between us now?
Now I'm putting on the transmission chain that goes from the engine to the clutch.
How many yesterdays?
And as you can see, I have way too much play in the chain, so that needs to be tightened. And
Are between us now.
so here I'm adjusting the counter shaft to move backwards, because As you saw, the chain was way too loose, and if your chain is loose, it's gonna jump out, and I don't want that happening. So now I'm just tightening to the desired length that I want.
Oh, rolling thunder, calling down my name. Why don't you hear me wonder? Ooh, ooh.
As you can see now, I have the right amount of slack in the chain. So these bolts have gotten a bit of damage, so I'm gonna replace these three, because we only use 3 of them for mounting the rear sprockets. So I'm gonna change these 3 and 3 on this side as well.
Shining just like sun. Why don't you
Here I'm putting on some thread locker for the bolts. They are probably gonna get undone in about half the season. I don't know why, but after a couple of races, some of them always get loose, and it's really annoying.
hear me wonder? Tell me, river, where your current flows. Why don't you hear me wonder? Ooh, ooh.
Here you can see the difference between the old and the new rear sprocket. It's 10 cogs smaller, so it's a lot lighter.
Oh, stop your freight train. Let a lost man ride. Why don't you hear?
Here you can see that the engine is really loose, even though I'm running the bike basically as long as possible. So I had to remove 3 links on the chain in order to make the chain fit. So the chain got 3 sizes smaller basically.
Me wonder. Ooh, ooh.
And it's been a while since I tensioned the rear chain, so yeah, I'm a bit rusty. You can definitely see that it took me a couple tries to get it to the right tension and to be straight.
Fare you well, darling, ain't coming back no more. Why don't
So now I just need to put on this countershaft cover, and after that the carburetor is the only thing that's left from is the only thing that's stopping me from starting the bike. So let's put this on. So now that we got the cover installed, we're gonna install the carburetor. Here you see me struggling a lot with which way I want to put the wire, because it's been a while and I didn't really remember which way the wire went.
you hear me wonder? Ooh, ooh. since I've been gone so long. Freedom calling. Ooh, ooh.
Now I'm tightening down all the screws on the pressure plate. So now the bike is finally ready. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's done now and it's looking fresh, beautiful. So let's start this. Let's see how it runs. So now we're gonna drain the oil and see if it looks clean or if there are any metal parts in it, which we don't want. And tomorrow when the engine is cool, we're gonna check the valve clearance and see if anything changed. Now we're pulling the engine back and forth so we get every last bit of oil that we can get out. So now the bike is finally ready, and it took a lot longer than I was anticipating, but the bike is finally race ready and I can't wait to get on track. And if you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It helped me out a ton. And if you want to see more videos like this, I have more coming. Still have another bike that needs to be built before the season. So yeah, see you in the next one.